Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily podcast, where we discuss the latest trends and innovations in technology, business, education and beyond. And today I want to talk about how technology is helping institutions grow their annual revenue by tailoring their digital engagement engine with personalised content for their students. And the company I'm talking about is Modern Campus. And I'm going to invite you all to join me as we explore the challenges of opportunities facing higher education today and speak to the Vice President of Product at Modern Campus, and her name is Kimberly. And she's going to be sharing her insights on how institutions can adapt to changing technological and demographic shifts, and also how they're using technology to create a learner-to-earner lifecycle that engages students for life. It's a great story, this one, so buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to California, where Kimberly is waiting to talk about all this and much more. So a big warm welcome to the show, Kimberly. Can you remind everyone listening with a little about who you are and what you do, and maybe give us a bit of an overview of Modern Campus and that value that it brings to higher education institutions across North America?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Prieto. I am a VP of Product at Modern Campus. We are a company that serves critical touch points throughout the student lifecycle, from web content management services and conversational texting platforms to optimize student communication, catalog and curriculum management solutions, student engagement software to drive involvement and persistence, and continuing and workforce development software that simplifies the non-traditional student management and drives enrollment and revenue growth for institutions. And unlike other tech companies, Modern Campus touches critical and often overlooked points along the student lifecycle that move the needle on key institutional goals, benefiting both students and staff. And unlike big tech providers like Salesforce, we offer solutions that are built specifically for higher education. Institutions that use our software have been able to improve their success and efficiency while also enabling students to thrive at their institutions.
Before you came on the podcast, I was doing a little research on you, and I quickly learned you got a fintech background. So I've got to ask, as someone with a background in fintech, how have you been able to leverage your experience to address challenges and opportunities in higher education, particularly in relation to Modern Campus's digital engagement engine? Because I feel like there's got to be a story there, right? And how those worlds collide for you.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're very similar in a lot of ways. The companies that I worked for in fintech created digital banking software for banks and credit unions. And ultimately, the problems were similar in that we sold the solutions to the banks and credit unions, but it was ultimately their customers that used them. Similarly, at Modern Campus, we build solutions for higher education institutions, but the website visitors are prospective students and alumni, not largely the institution staff. So it's really about solving two problems simultaneously, right? We have to solve for a great experience on the student or the website visitor perspective, and at the same time solve for the efficiency of the institution and make sure that if that's a process and an experience they can easily manage. And so having to kind of focus on both those problems at the same time is very similar. And then there's other things that are similar as well, right? The need for great information architecture and personalized interactions and creating great web experiences when folks use the products. All of that is, although the specifics of the experiences themselves may be a little different, all of that still is the same regardless of what kind of product you're building that's digital, right? You're solving those the same way.
Yeah, 100% with you on that. And also, when I was researching, I also learned that Modern Campus has made several acquisitions in recent years. And for any founders listening, can you just talk a little about how those acquisitions have helped to shape and expand the platform's offering, especially with what the integration process has been like as well? Because I think it's something that a lot of founders aspire to, but it'd be great to hear your insights on that.
Yeah, we did 5 acquisitions over the course of a little over a year, which is a lot. Those products have been really helpful in expanding our platform for us so that we can cover the entirety of the student journey. That means from identifying and choosing an institution that they might want to attend to meet their needs, communicating with that institution over the course of their engagement with them and even beyond as an alumni, and remaining engaged and persisting at the institution throughout the student's life cycle. All of our products help us kind of manage that entire journey. And so as we think about integration, with 5 acquisitions over the course of such a short period of time, there was a lot of integration opportunities that we could choose from. So we started by focusing on those things that we could do quickly, but would deliver significant value. So we started by integrating our Signalvine text message software with some of our other products like our Lumens product to enable students to get text nudges when it was time to take a particular action, right? So we know students today don't like to communicate via email. This enabled them to get the information they needed and the prompts that they needed through the medium that they really prefer to use. So we started with those kinds of things. We also started by integrating our Presence software, which is the software we used to in that student engagement, focusing on the events and opportunities that exist on campus and ensuring that students are kind of partaking in all of the co-curricular and extracurricular activities that are available. We integrated that with the Omni CMS platform so that events and opportunities that are happening on campus are showing up in the calendar that shows up on the website. So prospective students could see how lively and all the opportunities that were going on campus as they were just, choosing where to go. And so those were kind of some small low-hanging fruit, things that had a really big impact, but we could do very quickly. And now we're kind of focusing more on the kinds of integrations that are more at a platform level, right? The things that take a little longer to do. So working on things that will connect the data sources across all of the products, for instance, right? So those are bigger projects and take a little bit more time. So we wanted to make sure that our customers could really see value immediately upon the integration of those products.
It was interesting you said there that students don't like using email or prefer not to. Could this be the next generation that finally removes email or the burden of email? Do you think that could happen?
I think only if the rest of us old people meet them there.
Yeah.
Because my kids are I have a freshman in college right now and a senior in high school who's going through the process of choosing his college at the moment. And I swear to God, every single day, every school communicates via email. Almost everything comes via email. And I have to, just remind them each and every day, read your email. Right? But until we deliver it that way, it won't go away, right?
Yeah, we've got a part to play in all that too, for sure. And something else that jumped out to me was your concept of learner to earner life cycle. So can you explain what that entails and why it's so important for higher education institutions to embrace? It seems incredibly forward thinking what you're doing here.
Yeah, it's really important because the cost of higher education has increased over 170% since 1980. And even more recently, since 2009, the average student debt balance has increased by 92%. So for those reasons, students today are much more focused on the ROI of their education. They're not going to school to just get a generic education anymore. They're more and more interested in making sure that their education is going to lead them to a career. And for those reasons, students are really evaluating whether a 4-year degree is the right thing for them. More and more are choosing other options from community college to boot camps, and they're taking their education more and more in increments, right? So getting, just enough to start and then coming back at later points in their career to upskill in order to get that next promotion or move into that next step in their career. And for those reasons, it's really, really important that institutions of higher education show students the value of that education as they investigate the school before they even choose which school to go to. And so we've built tools like our Career Pathways tool that enables students to see, if they take a certain program, what kinds of careers that program can lead to, what the average salaries for those careers are, how many job opportunities are currently open in those careers, and the trends for what's expected, whether that career is in a growth mode or not, so that students can really make a smart decision about which programs they are for and what they do, so that they can kind of really see that value and understand how their education and the debt that they're taking on is going to help them in the future, right? It's really, it's so much more expensive now for students today than it was, when I was going to school. And it's just a very different kind of calculation that they have to make.
So for anyone listening anywhere in the world, how does Modern Campus work with institutions? How does it help them tailor their digital engagement engine and create personalized web experience for students. And is there a use case or example that you could share of a successful implementation just to bring all that to life?
Yeah, I think the primary thing that we're focused on today is really personalization and helping to make sure that our institutions, our customers can really tailor the experience that they're giving to prospective students and students alike as they go through their experience. And so we have one customer, Ferris State, who has been using the personalization tools in our Omni CMS product to guide students through, prospective students through the next stages in the kind of process of researching and applying and enrolling in the school. And so they have three key stages, right? For student conversions, a lead, an inquiry, and an applicant stage. And what they did was they personalized content on the website for students at each stage of the process. And doing so, they increased the click-through rate on their calls to action from 8% to 20% after adopting personalization. That's a 115% increase. And for inquiries, the call to action jumped from 2.3% click-through rate to 66.6% click-through rate, which is a massive increase of about, a little less than 3,000% in conversion. So those are really significant statistics, and it's absolutely critical higher education institutions adopt personalization, because this generation of students has never lived in a world where things aren't personalized to them. They're on TikTok and their feed is personalized. They're on Spotify and their songs are personalized. Everything's been personalized for them. They don't know how to hunt and peck and look for information the way we old people do. And so it's absolutely important that you bring that information to them when they need it.
Wow, that is such a powerful point there. That's something I've not really thought about, but you're right. Everything from TikTok to Instagram to Netflix to Spotify, everything's personalized now, isn't it?
It is. And this, for us, we all, I, at least, I'm an old person. And so I remember days when that wasn't the case. I mean, when I went to look for college education, I bought a book and skimmed through the book and then sent postcards off to institutions I wanted more information from, right? Yeah. But my kids are not doing that, right? Their experience is very, very different. And when we look across our websites, the average website visit is about 1.5 minutes. So you have very, very little time to capture the attention of the person visiting your website. And so you really need to get that information up to them, the stuff that they need at the time they need it, right away, or you'll lose that student.
Well, as a fellow old person, you're in good company there, let me tell you. But as the VP of product, you oversee the Omni CMS product and the catalog and curriculum suite of products too. So I'm curious, how do these solutions fit into the broader modern campus ecosystem, and how do they contribute to the overall success of an institution?
Yeah, so the Omni CMS product is all about building engaging websites for higher education. And often the website is the first interaction a potential student has with an institution. So it's absolutely critical to their journey. And that's why personalization is so important as well. And catalog and curriculum is important because when a student really tries to identify which school is going to best meet their needs, first and foremost, they're looking, do they have my major? Do they have the program that I want? And so being able to manage the curriculum and then publish that curriculum in a catalog that can be displayed on the website so that students understand what programs are available, and then taking that further to our pathways tool so that they can understand what those programs can lead to from a career perspective is absolutely critical to the way a student chooses the institution that they go to. So, you may not know this, but, from a demographics perspective, higher education is facing a cliff, right? There's fewer students in the next few years, starting to graduate from high school, just from the way birth rates are. And then, but combine that with the fact that students are seeing less value in a 4-year degree because of its costs, our schools really need to get that information to students right away so that students understand what value they can get from that education. It's absolutely critical. They're key components of what we do here.
Yeah, that really shines through in listening to you today. And looking at your own personal background and your family, your husband is a professor, and you said you have 2 teenagers who have recently been through that college application process. I'm curious, how have these personal experiences informed your work at Modern Campus? And and how do they help you stay connected to the needs of students and faculty? Because it almost feels a bit of a gift for you right now, that being able to see things from both sides.
It is. It's like I have my own personal focus group. Yeah, I think working with my talking to my husband helps me to really see the pain points that exist for the institution, right? So he has, over the course of his career, been the chair of the French and Italian department at the school that he teaches at, as well as chair of the comparative literature program, and kind of watching them kind of reevaluate the majors that they offer and the curriculum that they offer has really helped me in terms of understanding kind of how our tools can help in that area. But the really big learnings come from my kids, because the way they are thinking about college, the way they're looking for college is a totally different experience than what I had. And they're each very different. My daughter was a recruited athlete, so her experience is very different than my son, whose interests lie in a different area, is having through the experience. But there are some strong commonalities, right? One is they don't want email. Right. So I have to remind them all the time. They would much rather get information through social media or text. Right. So being able to build a brand through other channels is really important for higher education. And I see that each and every day with my own kids. Personalization is important. My kids are not going to spend 40 minutes on a website. Right. They want to get to the information that they want and then be gone. And so personalization through that process, personalization through every touch point of the communication is important. And the website design is important. My kids today are very tech savvy. And if your website or the tools that you're giving them, if the portal where you're managing kind of your acceptance process, et cetera, if those things are not easy to use or look old and dated or aren't designed well, they know that. They spend a lot more time in technology than we ever did. And they judge schools based on that. So it's absolutely critical that your website design is modern and up to date. You're delivering a personalized experience to the student, and you're communicating them through the channels that they want to be communicated with. And I see that every day with my own kids. It's very clear.
And if we take everything that you're seeing here, combined with the constant evolution of technology alongside the shifting needs of higher education institutions, put all that into a big melting pot, how do you, Modern Campus, attempt to stay ahead of the curve and continue to innovate your product offerings? Because you can't just stand still anymore, can you? Or in any industry, really.
No, I think, it's product management 101 to some degree, right? You have to be looking outside of your own industry to understand what the trends are in technology, what the trends are in how marketing is evolving. And we actually sponsor a research into how students think about the way they select and interact with colleges during when they're in high school to go through the process of selecting a college. So we do a lot of research to understand those shifting needs as early as possible. And then it's about, investment and putting the time and effort into the places where you can create real value for institutions and give them the tools that help them meet the students' needs. And that's where our Pathways product came from, right? We recognized very early in the process that students needed more information about the career opportunities that would be available to them after they got their education. So we built a tool that helps our customers deliver that information very easily and efficiently for students. And that's, it's critical to just understand those trends. It's like any other product, it's really around kind of looking at the whole world, not just at what's going on in your own, small piece of it.
And another big topic right now in every industry is data and analytics. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you're using data and analytics and its role in Modern Campus's approach to things like digital engagement, and how institutions can leverage that information to make more informed decisions and optimize their strategies? Because I think every business in every industry, it's all about data-driven decision-making now, isn't it?
Yes. So we use data in a number of different ways. Internally, we have tools that we use like Pendo that helps us to understand how our products are being used by our customers, where they're spending the majority of their time, where they might be getting stuck in a process so that we can improve the user experience. For our customers, we also provide a number of places where data is absolutely critical. We've talked a lot about personalization today, and in the Omni CMS product, we include a data dashboard that helps our customers to understand, as they build out personalization campaigns in their product, which ones are working and how well are they working so they can tweak them. We have A/B testing tools that allow our customers to, figure out which version of content will perform best, and shows them kind of, click rates on each version, and helps them kind of declare a, kind of a winning version. We have a solution we call Register, which is a tool that students use to register for courses each semester or quarter at the institution. And that tool uses an algorithm in the back to find the exact perfect schedule for a student. They can put in the times that they're working and unavailable to be at class, and the Register product will help them find the ideal schedule for themselves. We can use the data from that tool to help our customers understand when do students want to take specific classes, what are the conflicts that they're having when they're trying to take multiple classes at the same time, and provide that data back to our customers so that they can build a curriculum and a section schedule that accommodates the needs of students as those evolve. There's lots of places in our products that we use data to help our customers perform better.
And if we were to go back 6 months ago, I would suspect that nobody outside of the tech industry knew what generative AI was. And now, of course, it's all anybody's talking about. So looking ahead, are there any trends or challenges that you anticipate for higher education in the coming years? And Modern Campus, are you preparing to help institutions navigate these changes and challenges ahead?
Yeah, it's a hot topic, right? Yeah. I think on the learning side of higher education, the problems are very different than the problems that our side of higher education matters. I mean, my husband talks a lot about, whether he should be just doing in-class exams now because it's so easy for students to use AI to write their papers and things like that. But for our side of the business, I think AI can be a really strong tool for our customers. In the content management side of things, for instance, our customers are every day going in and creating content for the website. And, there's no reason why they couldn't use AI to help them craft that content, right? And so we're looking at ways that we can bring that kind of technology into the product. In fact, one of our customers, our product has APIs that our customers can use to build out their own functionality as well. And one of our customers is already linked to ChatGPT to help them build content in their products. So it's definitely, I think, a thing that can be very helpful as long as folks understand the parameters, right? It's not a tool that you let to just do it on its own. It can be helpful, but you need to review what it's producing, make sure it's accurate, and ensure that you understand kind of where the limitations are.
Yeah, 100%. It is just a tool, a co-pilot, I'm hearing a lot of companies call it as well. And,
exactly.
And it's that accuracy thing. For anyone listening that is using it for anything, I would say double check its accuracy, because the accuracy is the real flaw there. So you do have to do your own research. And for anyone listening that would like to find out more information about anything we talked about today, what's the best starting point for all things Modern Campus and contacting your team if anybody needed to?
Yeah, the easiest way to do that is to go to our website at moderncampus.com. There's a contact us button there, and that will get you to the person that can help you the best.
Awesome. Well, I'll add those links to the show notes so people can find you nice and easily. I love everything that you're doing here and how you're leveraging technology. You help over 2,000 higher education institutions across North America. And we're at a time where there's so many different tech projects. They're all judged by ROI and what's in it for me. But the fact that you help institutions across North America grow their annual revenue on average by something like 19% is phenomenal. But just a big thank you for sharing that with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So a big thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily podcast today. And I hope you found our discussion informative and thought-provoking. I know I certainly did. And remember, if you want to learn more about Modern Campus and how they help institutions thrive, visit their website. And also be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you'd like the conversation. You want to hear more stuff like this. If you want to stay up to date with the latest trends, whether it be in higher education, whether it be in business or just technology, we try and cover all bases every single day on this podcast. And if you've got any questions about today's episode, anything you want to add to the conversation, or equally, if you've got anything that you'd like to ask me or anything you'd like me to cover more of on this podcast, whatever it is, this show's your show. You're the ones that tune in every day. I'm just the guy that serves you up the content. So email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, just @Neil C. Hughes. Send me a quick DM, send me an email, whatever is the easiest option for you. And please leave a quick rating review for the podcast if you did enjoy today's episode, because it really does help bring more people along to the podcast and attract more guests too, of course. But that's it for today. A big thank you for listening as always, and until next time, don't be a stranger.